I think that enough has been said about how to get clients, how to retain clients, and all of these different options and different sources of information that you can have in regards to running a marketing or sales agency, a coaching business, or whatever it might be. And I think that actually that's completely cool. What happens is that a lot of times it's really hard to make sure that all of these things that we learn and that we actually want to apply for our business merge together into a systematized process that we can easily, as business owners, incorporate into our daily workflow, into our planning sessions, into our team meetings, etc. That's actually where a software such as ClickUp comes into play. A lot of people have been struggling exactly with this problem, knowing how to focus on the right things, how to make sure that their projects are working. And that's why I wanted to make this video and do a little bit of a walkthrough, how we use ClickUp specifically to manage our business operations, our client fulfillment, and our focus when we do projects, okay? At the end of the video, I promise that I will do a demo into our actual ClickUp account so that you can see how we have it set up, how we manage to work everything, and how we use other additional software that does a little bit of a better job than ClickUp at certain specific things. And you will see what those things are in a second. I always like to say the presentation that we'll go over, you can get on a Google Doc using the link in the description. You will also get access to all of the documents that we use on our YouTube channel. That being said, let's hop to the computer and let's get started right away. All right, guys, so as you can see here, we're going to go over 3 different stages when it comes to using ClickUp, or at least that's the way that we like to see it. And the first thing that I want to say, guys, is that even if I love ClickUp, I think that there are some things that you would be better off by using either other platforms or just completely not using ClickUp at all. So I want to start off by talking about the things that we don't use ClickUp for. And the first thing that we don't use ClickUp for is for communication. For that sake, we use Slack. I think that there's honestly no better option. I think that Slack is better than Discord. We think that Slack is better than using just a good old messenger chat, right? We also believe that for KPIs and business metrics management, it's better to stick with a good old Google Sheet. And the reason why is that, of course, we're going to be playing with a lot of numbers. We have different trackers. We're going to have a lot of different material that it's needed in order to make sure that everything is in its right place. So I think that it's better to simply use a Google Sheet when you're talking about numbers. And last but not least, when it comes to CRM, pipeline management, and client-based information/reporting, we use Airtable. That being said, guys, even if we are going to use different tools to make sure that we always optimize for everything that we need, we can embed the Google Sheets and the Airtable views that we need inside of ClickUp. And that's where the magic happens, because ClickUp allows you to embed different apps, different softwares, different tools inside of ClickUp so that we never have to leave the platform. And that's one of the things that I wanted to actually share with you guys, okay? It tries to do everything really well. The simple things that for whatever reason are going to be better in other platforms, you can easily embed or add to your ClickUp account, right? So that's something that we love. Some examples for you guys to see. We use, for every client, we create a folder, right? I will go way more in depth about this in just a second, guys. But you can see inside of ClickUp, we have one folder per client. And what we do is that this embed that you see here that says CRM is an Airtable view. That, of course, I just wanted to not show you this because this is private client information. So this is a way to use Airtable and ClickUp. The other option, we have a CRM that we use for ourselves inside of Airtable, but we embed that specific view of the CRM inside of ClickUp. Another example, we of course focus a lot of our attention in YouTube and content creation. So we have a Google Sheet called Content Ideas that we store inside of ClickUp. That way we don't have to be creating ClickUp tasks for every idea. We prefer just to have a Google Sheet, and once we are trying to execute on the actual idea, then we go and do a ClickUp task. Another thing that, of course, this is super private, but I still think that is going to be super helpful. This specific case, we use dashboards for, but we do our 411 planning method to execute on our goals. So what we do is we have a dashboard inside of ClickUp. Dashboards are pretty much workspaces where you can do whatever you want, pretty much. We have one Google Sheet with our monthly, yearly, and weekly goals. And on the right side of the dashboard, we have a Google Doc that is just like a journal plus a note-taking section where I basically meditate and reflect on the things that I am working on, and it's just like a simple hub for me to see if I'm on track or not with my goals. I think that this is going to be a longer video, so I hope that you are enjoying it, and if not, I'm sorry, but I think that this is really important. Not only how we streamline our operations, but also how you can do the same and how to apply this for your business, okay? Here are the things that we actually use ClickUp for. The first thing is for project management. You will see now that once we are working on something that is not a task but more of a project, we always want to create a specific task on ClickUp, aka a project, and start to distill the different stages that we need in order to actually execute and accomplish that project. Client fulfillment, deadlines, deliverables, and visual transparency, SOP management, and templatization of core deliverables that we have. We also use ClickUp for daily workflows, routines, and different team members so that we can actually know that they're working on the right stuff. That's what the operations space is all about. And also content production. As I was spoiling a little bit, inside of Growth, we have our content production folder, we have YouTube, etc. Okay. Now, this is really important to understand because I don't want you to think that ClickUp is the end-to-end solution that is going to save your business. Ultimately, ClickUp is only a tool that reflects the specific processes and systems that you have in place for your business. So you want to make sure there is a really adequate reflection of your systems and deliverables on your business inside of ClickUp, because that's what is going to make the process work and actually make sure that you get the most value from this. And by the way, if you're enjoying the content so far, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment. I typically talk more about how to retain clients, how to get customers, how to do different things. And I'm not sure if my audience is going to really like how I use productivity software such as ClickUp. So if you are enjoying it, please let me know in the comments, okay? Now that we know what we use ClickUp for and what we don't use it for, I think that it's important now to actually explain how we set up the entire infrastructure of ClickUp to make sure that we're always working on the right things and we're on track to hit our different projects, okay? I want to give a huge shout out to the guys on SMMA for the idea on how to manage ClickUp for agencies. I have never done business with them. I have never bought anything from them. I just love their content. I just love their blogs. I think they're the best when it comes to systematizing agency operations. I took inspiration from their high-level hierarchy when it comes to setting up ClickUp. But that being said, I will just show you guys how we currently do it and how we like doing it, okay? I'm not saying that this is exactly how they do it, but just want to make that clear. When it comes to ClickUp, you can have different workspaces. One workspace has different spaces inside of them, okay? So the workspace in our case is our business. And inside of that workspace, there are spaces. You can have as many spaces as you'd like. We prefer to have less rather than more. And what that means is that we only have 4 major spaces. And those 4 major spaces are pretty much growth. Growth is everything related to how we get customers, how we attract customers, how we grow our brand. Then we have fulfillment. Fulfillment is everything regarding how we deliver our service to our customers. Operations is everything that has to do with the base admin things of the company. So that might be like daily routines that we have for ourselves so that we can actually hit KPIs. That might be projects that we're working on so that it's not really a growth or fulfillment, it's something different. It could be human resources, legal stuff, etc. And last but not least, we have a library space. The library space is, I believe, the most important one, mostly when you're trying to scale, because this is where you're going to store your SOPs, your business docs, your material for meetings, etc. The most important thing, your templates, because if you want to scale, you need to productize your service. And what I mean by that is that if you are doing custom projects for every new client that you have, scaling is going to be pretty much impossible unless you're charging a huge amount of money. Because if you are doing different things for everybody, then you're going to go one step forward, one step back, one step forward, one step back. So it's better to make sure that you have a clear onboarding process that you follow for everyone, a delivery process that you follow for everyone, and of course your project management software needs to reflect that, okay? Inside of these spaces, we have folders. Inside of Growth, we have 2 folders. And content production is everything that has to do with YouTube, with how we create content, how we try to grow our inbound traffic. And outbound is everything that has to do with how we get customers in an outbound fashion, aka how we reach out to other people. Content production is how we make other people reach out to us, and outbound is how we reach out to other people. Inside of fulfillment, we have 1 folder per client. And I actually have a really special tip for you guys. Every client that you have, you should give public guest access so that they can see what you're working on at the moment, what's coming on, etc. So for example, let's grab inside of fulfillment, let's grab On Purpose Projects as the example. So On Purpose Projects is a client of ours. The founder, Natasha, we love her. She's an awesome client. She's great at what she does. What we do is basically create 2 specific views inside of the folder. Just so you guys know, of course, Natasha has access to this specific folder. Of course, only to this folder. She cannot see Argometrics, the story, Logismico, etc. She's just able to see On Purpose Projects. And inside of On Purpose Projects, we have only 2 views that she can see. Well, she can see everything, but in the folder, like you have lists over here and you have folders. On the folder, what we do is that we have 2 different lists. One that is called completed deliverables and another one that is called monthly progress. Of course, right now we're in December, so we're not currently doing anything because she decided to stop campaigns till January. That's why you're not seeing anything here, but if we were working on a specific campaign, you would see here the progress and the task. In the computer deliverables, she's going to be able to see the first cold email campaign launch that we did, the onboarding setup, creating everything that we did for her, pretty much, okay? So this allows you to retain clients for longer, mostly because they see what you're working on, what you did for them, and what's coming up next, okay? So yeah, just a tip over there. But the most important thing is you want to have one folder per client. If you're an agency, if you have a coaching business, you might prefer to have one main offer, for example, high ticket coaching program, that will be a folder, and one list per client. That way you don't have to be having, because of course with coaching you might have more clients, but you get my point. In operations, we don't have folders. You will see why once we go to lists, but we don't have folders. And inside of the library, we have 3 folders. One folder, look at this. Library, we have one folder for docs. Inside of the docs, we have documents for ideas and brainstorms, so that when we're working and we have an idea, instead of having to batch the Slack channel, I don't know if you guys do this, but whenever you have a random idea, you send something to the Slack channel and everyone is like, okay, well, should we do something about it, or are you just thinking, right? So we have an ideas and brainstorm space. We use team meetings so that every time we have a team meeting, we take notes there specifically. We have a folder that is called new client template. And the beauty of this is that every time we onboard a new customer, all we have to do is just duplicate this specific folder and add it to the fulfillment folder. And the reason why this is important is because we have an onboarding list that we have to do every single time we onboard a customer, because we need to make sure that everything is working. For the campaigns, we also have a specific list. For the reporting, we have a specific list. And all we have to do is pretty much just duplicate the task, okay? Last but not least, we also have an SOPs folder that has everything that has to do with our different processes inside of the business, aka how things are done, and our inbox management on how we reply to the people that are wanting to do business with us, pretty much, okay? So you can see here, we have SOPs for everything, like, I don't know, splitting domains from fluff. So you are going to be able to see here how things are done, Bloom recordings on how this is performed, so that if somebody gets on board and they need to do a specific task, they can just come and see how things are done instead of us trying to do and manually explain everything, okay? Then we have lists inside of folders. Inside of content production, we have the YouTube list. Inside of album, we have the cold email list. So just an example, let me show you. Content production, YouTube, we have the process. Of course, right now I'm filming this specific video. So all I do is, once I finish building this, I go to editing, and then the editor can focus on doing the things that needs to be done, etc. We also have a list for published videos. So if I want to search for a specific video from the past, I just go here and search for that. On albums, I have cold email, but you get my point. You basically just want to make sure everything has a structure. So that would be it for the list inside of folders. An example here, you can see here the ClickUp task, okay? Now, this is really key for you guys, and this is where things are going to be different from you guys to us, okay? The fulfillment space, every folder is a client. And you want to have a list for every core deliverable. So what that means is that, let's say guys, that you're running a YouTube ads agency for coaches. Then what you would do is have maybe one list for onboarding, once you onboard the new customer, so that you make sure that everything is done. And you might have a list called YouTube ads management. And you might have another one that is called funnel optimization. And then you might have another list called reporting. If you are doing a more full-end service and back-to-back business, then you might have like blog, another one that is newsletter, another one that is Facebook and Google Ads, or Facebook Ads, Google Ads, and those are the different lists. What matters is that it reflects your business and your service line, okay? So for us, for example, we might have, I don't know, let's say here as an example, we go to fulfillment, let's go to rapid developers, for example. We might have, of course, they were already onboarded, so that way you don't see the onboarding list, but we have campaign management, recruitment, and reporting. Why? Because these are the service lines that are going to be part of our delivery process for this specific client. And what we gotta do is make sure that the list that we are focused on reflect what we are working on. So if you have a team of people that are helping you on the deliverable, then you can just have people focusing on specific lists. And I will give you a huge tip at the end where I go over how you can focus only on a specific service line across all of your clients, or how you can do something like that is going to be super helpful for you, okay? But stick with me till the end once I start doing the demo. Then for operations, we have routines and projects, okay? So let me just show you over here for a moment. Operations, we don't have folders like I told you before, we just have projects and routines. So what that means is that, and I don't want to show you the actual projects that we're working on because there are some things that are going to be super valuable later on, but I don't want to spoil anything. So projects is everything that requires a lot of time in order to execute. And we of course want to make sure that we are managing the project adequately. Routines is everything that has to do with standard workflows, KPIs, etc. So for example, monthly schedule update, send quarterly gifts to clients, monthly KPI check. weekly client campaigns, check. What I'm trying to say, guys, is that routines is everything that you need to be doing every single day, yes or yes. And the way in which you can make sure that you're executing on those things without you exactly having to be relying on your brain is by having routines in place for your business. Just like you have the routine of brushing your teeth, you have the routine of, for example, updating the KPI tracker every single night. So guys, I hope that this was making sense so far. You basically want to have inside of your workspace 3 or maximum 4 spaces. Inside of the spaces you have folders, inside of the folders you have lists, and then inside of the list you have tasks, okay? Those tasks are the actual actionable items that you're going to be working on towards, okay? That's pretty much the structure on how we operate our agency. What I want to do now is go in depth into our actual ClickUp account and show you how all of these things fall into place, plus some hacks that you can start using for your business. Okay, and the first thing that I want to say is you want to leverage the everything view to your favor. And what that means, guys, is that, and this is something that I love about ClickUp, you have different spaces, you have an everything space. And here is the thing, the everything space reflects tasks across the entirety of your spaces. So you can have different views that are going to allow you to leverage your attention to the things that you need to be working on. So for example, we have different lists. One that is called Enrique's task, aka all the tasks that I need to be doing. Jasper's task, Jasper is my co-founder, so all the tasks that he needs to be doing. Today's focus, that's something that I use for the things that I need to be working on right now. I just decide whenever I need to do deep work, I just go to today's focus and I just work on the things that are there, period. I know that you can do that from the home view here, for example, but in full transparency, I don't like it. So I prefer just to do the everything view here, and I just have a favorite access here. So I go to today, pretty much the first thing I do always. And here's the first hack I want you to focus on, is that you can create a client fulfillment list in the everything view, and you can filter it in such a way that the only thing that it shows is where the location is fulfillment, aka this space. If you do this, you're going to be able to see everything in a due date fashion so that you can see what fulfillment work you need to do, okay? You can do the same from the fulfillment space, but I don't know why, I just prefer to see everything in the everything view. So yeah, that would be the first thing. You could also, for example, let's say that you are having 3 core deliverables. Let's say Facebook ads, YouTube ads, and cold email. Let's say that you have 10 clients and you're doing Facebook ads for 8 of them and you're doing Google ads for 10 of them. What you could do is then go to the everything view and just pretty much create a new view in list. Let me just do it right here for you guys. So you have the list here and you can filter this by location list, where the location list is inside of fulfillment. Let's say that Google Ads means campaigns. So you just see everything here that has campaigns. You're going to see from the everything view just that specific service line. So if you have, let's say, an account manager that manages the cold prospecting, what you're going to do now is that manager can see only the cold prospecting service line so that he can focus exclusively on that. Because you will start to notice that once you start onboarding a lot of people, what might happen is that everybody is going to be lost inside of ClickUp, because of course there is a learning curve, honestly. So you might be able to just assign a task to them and allow them to see only this specific space over here, not space, but that location with that specific service line, and everything gets easier. And a pro tip, once you onboard a client, you need to manually that new service line. That's a little bit more advanced, to be honest, but I hope that you guys understood the point. Like I was saying, we have a dashboard that I use for our 411 planning, meaning that we're on track to hit our goals. But honestly, that's it, guys. I know that there are a lot of people that might do a lot of things and they might have a lot of different spaces and everything, and if that's you, awesome, do what works for you. I just want to show you how we manage our agency and how we make sure to keep on track to our deliverables to our customers, our actual goals as a business, and ultimately be able to focus on the things that matter, okay? Now guys, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe to the channel, like the video. I don't know if this is the type of content that you guys are going to enjoy looking at. If so, please let me know. If you don't, please also let me know so that I stop doing this type of content. But honestly, for me, I love this type of software and productivity apps. So I would definitely enjoy to go more in depth into how we manage our company. Keep enjoying the process together for sure. That being said, guys, call to action. You can get the documents using the link in the description. Plus, if you're a high-ticket service provider like an agency, high-ticket coach, high-ticket consultant, for example, and you're trying to scale your company, make sure to actually book a call with us so that we can see if we're a good fit or not. If so, we're going to do what's best, okay, push the deal forward. If not, no worries. We'll be still happy to give you our sales SOP so that you can start scaling on your own, okay? That being said, guys, hope that you enjoyed this one and see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.